one last epilogue, I think, because we got the golden ending. I'm pretty sure we get an extra little bit of an epilogue right here. That's right, we're back. As promised. Summer vacation. Town doesn't seem to have changed at all since last time.
私は昨年のあの事件によって一番大事なことに気づかされたのです。
The man you've seen before is delivering a passionate address to the crowd. Is that?
残念ながら世の
That's
中は
Namatame.
人を惑わすもので溢れています。正義と信じた行いこそ実は過ちかもしれない。一人の判断力など
Is he back in politics?
それを私に教えてくれたのはとある少年少女たちでした。私は彼らのように皆さんと手を取り合ってこの町の未来をもう一度考え直したい。目先に惑わされず大事なものを守ってゆける、そんな稲橋を目指したいんです。
ねえあなた、あの人覚えてる？
Do they know? Yes. He's an old pal.
例の事件で一度逮捕されたでしょう。それが立候補するなんて聞いたからびっくりしちゃったわよ。熱心よね。最初なんて誰も寄りつかなかった
Oh,
の
he's
に。
managed to pick his life back up. He's back together now. Well, he's put his life back together.
実は
He's
私
changed for the
何度
better.
か演説聞いてみたんだけど、案外いい人かもしれないわ
You
よ。
may have ignored the fact that he almost kidnapped people. He does seem like he's changed for good, so turn over a
自由
new
に流され
leaf.
ず私たち自身で考えてゆけばこの町にはきっと活気が戻ります。だからどうか私に皆さんの力を貸していただきたい。どうか。
Namatami's speech continues. Nobody seems to be here to welcome you. You decided to go to the Dojima residence. The no gas station attendant handshake. Oh, alright. I can't believe this game basically started from one handshake. There's no answer. Front door is locked. They seem to be away. Decided to call Dojima. Oh no, am I locked out of the house?
もしもし。お前か。
Something wrong, Dojima?
こっち来るんだったな。
Did he forget we were coming over?
今日着くんだったか。すまんな。ちょっと野暮用なんだ。誰か友達にでも連絡してうまくやっててくれ。
Oh, we're locked out of the house. Oopsies. Dojima seems busy. Decided to call Yosuke. Yosuke, help. I need a place to crash. Oh, he's not answering either. Did something happen? Oh boy, what's this? Inaba Central Shopping District. You don't see anyone you know.
なあ、ビフテキおにぎりってどうだろう。冷凍してさ、自家ネットで全国に。
Oh my god, true amazing commodities. That's Tanaka's shopping program.
どうかな、あれって手作りだろう。数作れないんじゃないの。ああ、でも町おこしっていうならやっぱ限定とか手作りはいいのかな。
Oh, everyone's thinking of how to revitalize the town.
どうもここを離れる気になれなくて。
そうですよね。結局生まれ育った町ですもの。やっぱり何とかして寂しくならないようにみんなで頑張るしかないわよね。
OK だ。ジュネスが全面的に協力してくれるってよ。
His title is just sweaty young man.
やっぱ行ってみてよかったね。もっと早く協力すればよかった。
でもよ、地元生産品コ
Oh,
ー
they're
ナー
gonna
って
start
何
selling
出しゃ
stuff
いいん
through
だ。
Junes.
ビフテキ串とかはいいとしても、この町に他の名産なんてねえし。
バカもん、何でもいいんじゃ。野菜でも魚でもラーメンでもいいわい。
You half-wit. Chill, old man.
精魂込めて一生懸命作ったもんならなんだって喜んでもらえるに決まっとろうが。ジュネスに恥かかさんように頑張るんじゃ。
Oh, they turned around. They all looking to work with Junes now instead of trying to chase them out of town. Nothing seems to really have changed, but yeah, everything's turning for the better. Decided to go to Junes. Oh boy, everyday young life Junes. I like how you still start carrying your huge ass bag around. Junes, food court. You don't see anyone you know.
いって
He's gonna give us a... I wonder who that could be. That was a weird smack coming from a bush.
いやいやいや、陽介がとろいからでしょ。中トロだから
The
でしょ。
jar of molasses.
お前声でかいんだよ。
Let's just say Yosuke and Teddy still aren't very good at tailing people, huh?
ああ、もう絶対バレてるよ。しょうがねえ。行くぞ。せーの。うわっ
He ends up being the only one to do it.
うわー、クマ。
They're so off timing.
なあ、もう何やってんの。打ち合わせと全然違うじゃん。てか、わあ、クマって変だし、こっちがクマに会っちゃったみたいじゃん。
そううまくはいかないと思ってましたけどね。
面目ない。
面目クマ。先輩、久しぶり。元気だった？
Everyone, the gang's back together. Hell yeah. And everyone looks different.
お
Hell
前来
yeah.
るって聞いてさ、サプライズ企んでみたんだよ。ほら、5月の連休はさ、いろいろあって、あんまゆっくりできなかったろ。
Well, yeah, I mean, as soon as I came in, the next day there was a murder, so...
今回も何もなしで個別訪問じゃ、なんか微妙だしね。
そうそう。それに誰もいなかったら少しは寂しがるかなってさ。
ま、結果はこの低たらくっすけどね。
Anji got rid of his dyed hair. He looks like he really does look like the honest student now, though. What on earth are you wearing? Surprised? It was such a failure. Oh, you can be such an asshole.
大成功。
I was more surprised by how poorly planned it was by Yosuke and Teddy, but yes, I was surprised nonetheless.
ごめん、最近ますますツボ浅くてさ。
She lost for even less reason than before.
ねえねえ先輩、そんなことより久しぶりの私ってどう？見違えた？ハートに刺さっちゃった？
いや、外見つったらナンバーワンはこっちだろ。
Everyone just stares at Kanji.
だあ、なんなんすか一体。失礼っしょ、いい加減。
Kanji looks way too prim and proper now.
まあ、みんな少しは変わりましたね。
And Naoto's not wearing boys' clothes anymore.
いつまでも同じ場所で足踏みというわけにはいきませんから。
Someone gonna go and help Yukiko for a bit?
いつまで笑ってんだっつーの。
あの頃が一番楽しかったなんて言いたくねえからな。見守ってくれる奴らさえいりゃ、俺らはいつだって変わっていけるんだ。
ユウスケは相変わらずカッコマンのままね。クマは変わったね。もうパワーアップしてヒグマになっちゃったね、きっと。
What, Teddy? Did you become king of the TV world now?
そうか、そりゃ強そう
I'll
だ。
stick you with all the
これからはバンバ
manual
ン力仕
labor.
事振ってくからな。
俺だ。
Oh, Jima called back. Hell
びっ
yeah.
くりだ かしゃっくりだが、そんなようなや
Oh,
つだ
so that's why the house was locked to get us to come here. It's still ongoing. Are you in on it?
デカにそりゃないだろう。勘弁してくれ。俺も無理やり頼まれたんだよ。見破る方は得意でも、自分が芝居となると、俺も点で素人だな。とにかく、そいつらと一緒に帰ってこい。うまいもん取ってやるぞ。
Don't everyone, the Dojima is waiting.
お、マジっすか。食いたいっす、うまいもん。
もう幹事違うでしょ。先輩帰ってきたお祝いなんだから。
うるせえな。分かってんだよんなこと。
Decide to go to the Dojima residence with the others. One last hoorah, I guess. Oh, hell yeah, we got more sushi.
里中先輩、それ2個目じゃねえっすか。1人1個っしょ。
全員よく食うな。さすがに頼みすぎたかと思ったが、おお、こんなか。
すんません、どうも。ななこちゃんいないんですか？俺
I'd
ら先に
hate
食
to
べちゃって
eat
ま
her
すけど。
share too.
習い事でな。気にすんな。ちゃんと別に取ってやる。
Oh shit, Nanako's got piano lessons.
言ってなかったか？七子のやつ、習い事始めてな。
That's pretty cool. Nanako started learning the piano.
ぼちぼち戻る頃だ。一目散に帰ってくるだろうさ。お前が来るって知ってから毎日その話ばっかりだったよ。
Dojima is laughing. I'm glad she's doing well.
ああ、ありがたいことだ。日に日に成長していってる。子供はすごいな。見てると力が湧いてくる。おかげで俺も前に進めるよ。少しずつだがな。実はな、古いひき逃げ事件の情報を
Oh, is it about his wife?
被害者は堂島千里。
Our aunt and Nanako's mom.
ガセネタに振り回されてきたが、今度こそ尻尾をつかめたらしい。市場は抜きにすると決めた矢先にこれだ。なんだかな。
It's glad to see Dojima getting some closure as well,
そうや
though.
って腹くくれたのはお前のおかげでもある。礼を言っとくよ。
It's okay, Dojima. Anything else new? What happened with last year's case? Yeah, let's ask about what happened to
例
Adachi.
の事件か。そうだな。知ってるかわからんが、生ためのやつは嫌疑不十分で釈放された。
Thanks, she did kidnap half the people here, though.
詳しくは話せんが、要は自供の手口を再現できなかったんだ。生ため自身も。
Oh, yeah, because we can't enter TVs anymore.
本人は随分うるさく
Or
罪
that
を
he
主張し
he
た
can't
が、
enter TVs
余
anymore,
命
right?
ごと書いた手帳一つで
Because his powers
誘拐
probably
罪
came
に問われても
from
な。
Fujino's theory. I don't know. I don't know his name.
俺んとこにも謝
But
罪に来
yes,
た
the
が、
one with the
自分
wheel
に
on
でき
top of
る
his
罪
head.
を自分で考えろと言ってやった。市議に立候補するとか言ってたが、どこまで本気かわからん。
Well, we did see him desperately campaigning outside the train station.
よく演説してる人、やっぱり生為さんだったんだ。
それとな、この前、足立に面会してきた。
どうなったんすかね。
取り調べとか、堂
Or
島さ
you
んがし
don't
たんで
want
す
to
か？
interrogate him.
俺は関わってない。関われないんだ。近い人間はな。
He was your partner after all, you know.
だが、起訴はされた。状況証拠だけだろうが、犯人しか知りえん情報をいくつも喋ったらしい。後半の日取りも決まったんでな。やっと顔見に行けたってわけだ。
そうでしたか。
交流中の態度は模範的だそうだ。あの野郎、塀の中の方が俺のしごきより楽だと抜かしやがって。
Ah, Dachi. He's still taking digs at Dojima.
今度の差し入れは 特売のキャベツにしてやる。
Well, it looks like both Ojima and Adachi are doing well, and now time is changed for the better. Oh shit, it's Nanako!
お父さん、お兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃんだ。
よかったな、ナナコ。
ナナちゃん、おかえりくば。
クマさんもいる。リセちゃんも勢ぞろい。ナナコね、ピアノ習ってるんだよ。あとね、いい子にしてた。今度お兄ちゃんにも弾いてあげるね。
まさかピアノって言い出すとは思ってなかった。やっぱり娘なんだな。
No, I feel like I was supposed to learn that during her social link, but I never finished it. Ooh.
ああ、千里はピアノを教えてたんだが、
No,
こいつも
maybe
なか
not.
なかうまいもんだ。ピアノって言葉を聞くのもしんどかったが、こいつにせがまれちゃ俺も変わらんとな。
ナナコね、お母さんが弾いたの覚えてる。今度はナナコがお父さんに弾いてあげるね。お父さん、天気予報始まるよ。
Oh, the weather report. Let's
続いて
see.
気象情報です。今日は一日気持ちよく晴れましたが、明日以降どうでしょうか。現場の久住さん。
どうも、久住真理子です。
Oh boy. Now doesn't she seem familiar?
昨日までずっと雨ばっかでした。なので今日から晴れにしました。まあこんだけ降ったし、この夏はもう水困んないでしょ。つうか彼が来てるのに雨とかありえないんで、この先しばらく晴らします。
Just straight up. A friend is here. I don't want it to rain.
久住さん、落ち着いて。
あ、でも暑かったら降らすんで雨。適当にすぐ行ってくれたらいいと思います。彼なら。
Marie, you sure you should be, sorry, Mariko, you sure you should be doing that? The weather forecasters, Marie. Just casually manipulating the
わ
weather.
かったね、君に。
あいつあれからちょいちょい来てんすよ。姉妹にこんな有名になっちまって。
てか短期間で人気出すぎなのよ。てか局の扱いどうなってんのよ。てか名前ひねりなさすぎだし。
Marie says to us a rivalry with her, now that she too is technically part of showbiz.
このお姉さんが明日のお天気決めるんでしょ。
You know, normally I'd say no, that's not how weather reporters work, but when it comes to Marie, yes.
お姉さんが晴れって言うと晴れるよ。
This is the only time we can't say no to Nanako's reasoning.
この子の場合はどうなんだろう。それ
久住さん、ありがとうございました。ではいつものどうぞ。
それじゃあ明日も頑張ってねと。頑張ってね
The
と。
more you get out, is that a catchphrase now?
近頃よく見るな。応援されると不思議とやる気が出るとか、その若い連中も言ってやがった。
It's just a coincidence.
確かにそんな気はするな。まあ妙な霧も晴れて久しいし、天気情報にかじりつくこともなくなったがな。
でも最近すごいんだよ。町の人たちがみんなやる気出してるっていうか。そうそう、なんかみんなやるぞってなってるよね。
確かにそうだな。街歩いても去年みたいな陰気さがないのは感じる。
Yeah, everyone's working together to change town for the better.
僕が来た頃より皆さん前向きですよ
No
ね。
kids are gonna come up and tell me that, you know, my mom and dad are fighting and they want each other dead like last time.
人ってのは変わっていけるってことだ。
That's right,
変わ
people
っちまえ
can
るっ
change.
てことでもあるが、それも考え方一つだ。妙な霧が晴れて町の連中も気づいたんだろう。結局は目を開けてた方が明るいってことにな。見たくないもんは山ほどある。人間は汚ねえなと思うこともな。 けど目が開いてなきゃ隣にいる大事なやつもよく見えん。そんなんでどうやって幸せになれる？結局は前見て歩くしかないってことだ。余計なこと言っちまったな。思ったより先が回ったか。
Yes, everything's back to
そうだ、ナナ
normal.
コ。こいつが帰ってきたら言いたいことがあるんじゃなかったのか？
Watch this.
里中には無理だな。
Your cooking is barely food.
マジ勘弁してください。
あのね、
なるほどな。いいな。
ではせーの、
ご無沙汰っす先輩。
漢字おかえ
He was welcome back. Kanji forgot it. Ah.
緊張してんだよ、緊張。
無慈悲な言葉だけがでたらめに街に溢れてる。ねばも切なく流れてた。
That was a fucking amazing epilogue. Holy shit. That's it. For Persona 4 Golden, we beat the game. The Steam edition at least. There's definitely some stuff I could do in New Game Plus. Like for example, you can now fuse Izanami no Okami. Though I don't think I'll be doing that, at least not anytime soon. Because you already kinda gotta see him in that one cutscene, and honestly, he's not very good. I'll be really honest with you guys. He's just kinda bad because he takes 12 personas, and you can't pick his skills, so he's just stuck with a skill set. He's kind of a complete set when you get him. But yeah, this game overall was fucking awesome, just actually straight up. I had a blast basically throughout the entire time of the game. I do think overall some of my gripes with this game are that it drags on at times, which I kind of guess is attributed to its social link, the social link part. Well, not really the social link part, but this game is half visual novel, half RPG, which is what makes it unique. But I do feel that there are times in the visual novel aspect gets a little bit uninteresting, especially at the beginning. I think it's pretty well known already that a lot of people feel that this game's opening sequence, not the opening sequence, but like the prologue, the tutorial more or less, is way too long. It is 2 hours long for tutorial. Now, Persona games in general, well, I guess P5 and P5R also have pretty long tutorials, but I think the big difference is in P5 and P5R, you got to move around a bit, you got to explore the city you just moved to. But in P4G, you're basically stuck reading a visual novel for the first 2 hours, which is quite a bit of time before you get into the actual game itself, which could definitely turn people off from this game. Another thing is that the level curve, or not really level curve, the difficulty curve in general for this game is a little bit messed up. So if you go, just kind of plugging my channel a little bit, if you go back to my YouTube channel and saw some of my earlier parts of this playthrough, you'll see me struggle a bit, you know, have a little bit of challenge fighting the bosses and stuff, even just common mobs. And I think it peaks at Mitsuo's boss fight. I think a lot of people in general think Mitsuo's boss fight is pretty tough. It's the first boss that you cannot rely on gimmicks to defeat. The only gimmicks the boss has serve to be ways for you to survive his attacks, not ways to defeat him, so you have to brute force it. Buffs, debuffs that surround the level, you'll also start getting AoE buffs and debuffs, which makes it a pretty challenging but fun and rewarding experience. But I think you guys can kind of see, especially what happened for the Hollow Forest, and even the final dungeon where I basically one or two shot anything. The game gets a lot easier once you get certain personas. It's not even just Yoshitsune. You could have probably done the same thing with Suter, Loki, Odin, all the personas with severe attacks, Daisojo with his light severe attacks, and Alice. You have the two, you just swap them in and out. and you will one-shot everything. That's just kind of the thing about this game that gets me a little bit, is how its difficulty curve is kind of like off. You know, it's like a hill where it more or less peaks in the center, and then it starts drooping all the way to the end. I do think the worst, in my opinion, is the Hollow Forest. I think you guys heard me griping a lot about it in this last few parts, but it's just not a fun dungeon. I understand why it exists, because as a game developer, because Golden comes after the Heroes of Fall game, you know, it's an extra dungeon. If they went ahead and actually made it like a regular dungeon, you would probably have come up off that dungeon late 80s, possibly even early 90s. For a boss fight that was originally designed, you know, it was originally designed for mid 80s. So in order to not have to redesign the entire game, they had to design a dungeon with gimmicks that didn't rely on levels, but in exchange, you got a dungeon that's just not very fun to go through. Everything basically dies to one hit, as long as they're not immune to it, and the dungeon is just a drag. You know, I don't want to have to spend 3 hours in a dungeon where I cut ropes. And some of the map design in that was just awful. Like, I'm sure you could probably, you know, gotten the most efficient route to get out of there if you were to use a map guide, but I shouldn't have to use a map guide in order for my experience to not just be the most painful in the entire game. It really just was. I think in general, I had to look online after to be like, is it just me, or I think in general people just didn't like the dungeon. And the boss was a gimmick boss, which I personally didn't really enjoy, because I felt that kind of ruined the whole challenge aspect of it. You know, you basically just dropped it and used the breaker items, and all of a sudden you're doing a whole bunch more damage to this boss when normally she's immune. So yeah, especially when coming off of, you know, a series of fights where you have been taught that gotta use buffs, you use debuffs, or you will die. You basically end up in a fight where it's just, hey, just use these items and you'll be fine. But overall, I really don't have that many gripes with this game. I think this is why a lot of people consider this your favorite Persona game. Oh, hey, we get a little group photo with everyone else. It's nice. But yeah, I can definitely see why a lot of people consider this one of their favorite Persona game. It is one hell of a masterpiece of a game. I will give it that. Characters, the settings, everything feels a lot more, in my opinion, welcoming compared to, let's just say, P3, where everything was all dark and depressing. And yeah, I really had a good time playing this. Look at that. If I didn't like this game, I wouldn't have 65 hours on it. I swear by the end we're a lot closer to 70 now, which I'm not sure how well I did in terms of time, but hey, I might not be able to max my social links, but I think I got quite a bit done. There we go. One last title screen. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching my playthrough of Persona 4 Golden, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. This has been Egbert, and I'm signing off. Peace.